cliche and probably as repetitive as it might sound, my best memories from Newman are truly all of the friendships that I've been able to make. All the people and friends that I've made have made it so that I have a favorite memory from each and every Newman event that I've attended. For every lock-in, retreat, Newman night, any gathering we have together, it's just always a great time because of the genuine friendships that have been formed. Everybody at Newman is so kind and genuine and just cares about your best interest no matter what, and we're all in it together, and every time you've got something going on, there's a line of people saying, "You got this, I'm praying for you," and it's just beautiful how much we truly care about each other. Everyone in the whole community, no matter how big it is. It's just great.
My favorite Newman night would actually be my first one. I had made friends with Becky the year before, and she encouraged me to go. Her and Anna set up a scavenger hunt for everybody to do, and you got separated into groups. I was partnered up with Zach, Jill, and I'm very sorry for whoever else it was, I forgot. And either way, we had a lot of fun. I made a lot of good connections. My group won. I still have the slinky for first place sitting on my desk, and it was really good. That is my favorite. Close second would be a bunch of us going to see I Can Only Imagine in theaters. That was also good.
I have a lot of favorite memories when it comes to the Newman community. I think, honestly, one of my favorite things was coming into small group every week, even if it was just like after I had like a really bad day or a rough day, being there surrounded by people and like sharing in faith and sharing in your struggles and everything with people, and having that small group connection was really meaningful to me, and I love that about the Newman Center.
So it's actually really hard for me to pick my favorite memory between all the retreats, the small groups, the Newman nights. But if I had to narrow it down to one, I think I'd have to go with the lock-in that we had my freshman year. I'm pretty sure it was second semester. But I guess the reason that really stands out to me is because that was kind of the defining moment that went from, okay, this is something I do on Thursday nights, this gives me something to do throughout the week, to this is actually like the group that I want to spend like all my time with. Like, these are people that I have a lot in common with. These are people that I grow a lot with, and this is the community that I want to be involved in. And I feel like that lock-in really sparked a lot of friendships and really just started a really good thing here at the Newman community.
My favorite memory about Newman is the last couple years on spring break going to CAP with my friends. It's a different environment. You kind of step out of your comfort zone. I was really nervous to go the first year because I knew that we would be building stuff. I've never picked up a power tool in my life, but everybody there is so supportive. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I learned how to do some cool builds. I met a lot of awesome people along the way, and we all got to worship God together and serve our communities.
I think one of my favorite memories at SIUE Newman Catholic Community is all the retreats that we went on, but specifically the one that I can remember the most that I loved was going with all of my Newman Center friends to Camp Ondasonk. And what I loved about it so much is that we just got to take time to kind of relive some of my childhood memories there, and it was nice to just be there with like a great group of friends with a great faith, and it was also just really nice to be able to grow with them as we were there and just enjoy the nature around us, but also grow closer together as a community.
I don't have a specific moment that I would say is my favorite about being part of Newman. Rather, I think my favorite memories looking back are all of the times where I felt like I was part of a community and part of a family that was joined together in our faith. Being able to come to Newman nights or spend a weekend on a retreat knowing that I was around friends that I really felt connected with and I knew that we all cared about each other was probably my favorite memories.
My favorite memory of the Newman Catholic community would be the lock-ins. I love getting to hang out with friends and make those memories and then do service with each other in the mornings.
My favorite experience at Newman was probably when I first got there, because being a transfer student, I had only heard, good things from Miranda about the people at Newman, and they were really nice, and it was a fun way on Thursdays to just kind of get away from school to hang out with friends, and hey, free food's always a plus. So, and at that point I wasn't even officially Catholic, so it was nice to have them, and it didn't matter if I was or wasn't, or I probably could have been atheist if I wanted to, and they still would have said, that's okay, come on and hang out. So that was nice to have, to know that I could be there, or or if I couldn't make it, and then I did finally come back, and they'd say, hey, we missed you. It was nice to know that people cared that I was or wasn't there.
So one of my best Newman memories, obviously pretty much playing in the band every time. I never really got an opportunity on campus to do my music in a group setting, just because I didn't have time to, and I've always wanted to do kind of a Catholic-oriented one, just because I've always wanted to use my music for more than just any kind of music. It's something that has always been a great part of my life, is my faith, and getting to do that at the Newman Center was probably one of my favorite things about college and favorite memories of it, just because it really allowed me to use something that I've been developing over the years. I know it sounds kind of corny, but it's just something that was really fun and really cool, getting to play with Jonah, Alex, and everybody else. It was also really fun last year around this time. We did like a little, not battle of the bands, but we did kind of like a little talent show thing, and instead of doing a Christian-oriented stuff, we got to do some more fun stuff. So that was probably one of my favorite memories of the Newman Center.
So to start off with, I think that my favorite memory from Newman, obviously all the Newman nights, going to Mass every Sunday at 8 p.m. and noon sometimes. All that's super fun, but I think my favorite memory was actually last year at the lock-in at St. Mary's. We played hide and go seek. And I hid with some people that I didn't know very well yet, and we got to sit there for an hour because it was the best hiding spot. And I just really got to know them a lot better and know the faith in a different light than I'd ever seen it before.
I think being a part of Newman will impact my leadership in the church after college. It has really shown me how it truly takes the entire church to make all the programs and liturgies run well, and how much more special it makes it. So I'll be more involved in my church and try and engage everyone else too.
I think being a part of Newman will affect my faith going forward, because it will encourage me to be a part of the next group. Wherever I go, I can get involved and try to do things kind of like we did here as best I can.
I think the Newman community has helped me prepare for life after college by offering me some persistence. I think it's really hard to keep persevering through your faith in a time like college when you're so busy all the time and you're overwhelmed with everything. And I think it's good practice to keep up with your faith and keep in that faith community in times of hardship and struggle.
So to answer the second question, at the risk of sounding really lame or really cliche, I'm going to take the cop-out answer and say that it affects everything. Because in my case, I really think it does. I mean, without my time at the Newman Center, without the relationships, without the community, I don't think I ever would have realized that my faith isn't some private thing between me and God. It's something that needs to be shared, that it needs family and it needs community to grow. And for that reason, as I go forward into my young adult life, I'm going to look for a parish where I can be actively involved, where I can still find community to grow myself, but also to help others grow. And I know for a fact that without those relationships that I built at the Newman Center, I never would have the courage to do that going forward.
One thing that I look forward to is the fact that through Newman and through advancing my faith these last couple of years, I'm going to be Catholic eventually this year, and I'm gonna have friends and I'm gonna have a fiance that I can share my faith with and worship God with.
I think being a part of Newman really helped me realize how important it is to me to be a part of a community in which we share the same faith and do more with our church to give back to the community rather than just being a part of it. And I think one thing that definitely will help me more is I loved being able to do service with my group, and of all the services I've done, especially CAP, I really enjoyed being able to have that sense of giving back to the community. So I'm definitely going to continue that in the future.
If I hadn't have been active in the Newman community during my time at SIUE, I don't think that I would have a faith life after college. I think it's taught me the passion that I can have for my Catholic faith, and really how to make that faith my own journey. And then just all the logistics of how to have a successful faith life and prayer life. Those have been really big impacts, and I think having a community that has supported me through that journey will encourage me to find a community in my future life as well.
Being active in Newman will affect my faith after college by wanting me to stay active in my home parish. I have built those communities and friendships at school, and now I want to continue them in my adult life, but in a different parish.
You know, if I could say that I was perfect about my prayer life, or, you know, reading and studying up on religious things that I don't know about, then I'd be lying, because I'm definitely not. But the time that I had at Newman was a good reminder that it's good to take time to think about, you know, the parts of the religion that we might not remember, or, you know, new things. I learned so many new things from being at Newman because, you know, I didn't know that there was so much history behind it. So going forward, I think it'll be helpful, because then it gives me a framework of how to continue on with that, and, you know, hopefully even improve even more than I've already improved.
I think it'll affect my faith in a good way for the most part. The only reason I say that is just because, I don't know, like, it's something I always wanted to stay involved in. And I feel like if I didn't, I might not have, like, gone right back to it. But I always was really determined to stay involved with my faith because it was a huge part of my life before, and it still is. But there was a lot of really good growing opportunities about just, like, meeting people, having certain answers questioned as I became an adult. Not that there were anything that I never thought about, like, as in high school or anything, but I really kind of, like, started to mature more. I was in Life Teen as when I was in high school, and kind of this was a great setting to keep growing my faith in little ways and understanding good ways to pray and all that stuff. And I really feel like it'll just carry over, kind of matured me more into more of, like, I guess, not necessarily adult worship, but kind of made me realize, like, good ways to just, you know, stay involved with my faith community, whether it be Newman or somewhere else.
I think that Newman as a whole changed not only my college career, but, like, my life. I never would have become Catholic without it, and without certain people in it. And I think that it's really changed everything. I mean, even, like, so tonight, like, as I'm filming this, tomorrow is Easter, and so I would have been getting ready for my confirmation, like, literally right now. So that's, like, crazy to me, and it's really just been a blessing. Like, God put this in my path definitely for a reason, and I'm very thankful to Newman for that.
I'm looking forward to starting my career in public relations and communications and eventually starting a family. I'm also looking forward to watching as all my Newman friends start their careers and go down their own paths and start their families and their vocations, and just keeping in contact with them and continue praying for each other.
One thing I look forward to now that I'm done with school is being able to help people. It's something I always wanted to do, and with my degree and everything I learned, I can finally go out in the world and try to make a difference.
I think I look forward to getting involved in a church's music ministry or children's ministry the most, because I love working with kids and I love music, so yeah.
So as a future alum in a couple weeks, I'm so incredibly excited to see the Newman Center grow, just because I've seen so much growth just in the short time that I've been here. And I know that without a doubt, with the commitment of Robin, Father Rob, Sean, Nancy, and all of our prayers, that SIUE Newman Center is going to be a great place of conversion for a lot of people, and it's going to be a great place of formation for a lot of church leaders and a lot of saints going forward. And I'm just so excited to see where this goes.
Newman's going to affect my faith after college because these last 2 years I've been able to grow a lot in my faith, and that's because I had Newman friends that brought me into the group and welcomed me and changed a lot of things for me. For one, I have decided to become Catholic, which will happen this year, and I'm very excited about that. And another one, being a part of the leadership board and being a service chair committee, it reinstated that love that I have for service and giving back to other people, so that I know when I graduate this year and I move somewhere, start my job, the community that I'm going to be a part of, I'm going to give back and I'm going to be very involved in service, and I'm going to get to find a great Catholic community.
One thing I'm really looking forward to in the future is being able to branch out a little more with my music skills and giving it back to the church. One thing I really loved this year was being able to help out with the music and the masses, and being with Ben, and then also taking a little bit of leadership this year too really helped me realize how much it means to me to be able to provide that music at Mass and help people feel more in touch and closer to God. And I'm really excited to be able to continue that wherever I may go.
After I hopefully pass the NCLEX, I will be starting a position as a registered nurse on a postpartum floor. So I'll be taking care of moms and babies after the babies have been delivered. And part of my job will be to give the babies their first baths, and I am very excited about that.
One thing I look forward to in my future is being able to stay in contact with my friends that I have made through Newman.
My one thing I'm looking forward to in the future is kind of a series of things, really. I mean, the big thing is since I've been with Miranda, I haven't, we've been waiting so long to get married, and now this whole pandemic thing has happened. So we're hopeful that it'll still happen semi-normally, but just the fact that I get to start an adult life with her and being in a house and having kids and, a typical starting a family thing, and really, finding a job, like a big adult job that requires my degree that I just worked so hard to get for 4 years, and kind of just seeing where life takes that, because things happen and you can't always predict it. You just have to hope and know that whatever happens, God has your best interests at heart, and in the end, He's looking out for you. So.
What do I look forward to in the future? That's a tough question. I've never been a huge fan of school. I do like everything outside of school, like Newman and all that, but during the actual school sucks. It's probably one of my favorite things is actually kind of getting to start my life. I know it sounds cliche, but I've always been just a worker. I always worked pretty much all the time when I was on campus at school, and I work full-time in the summer, so just being able to actually work full-time with engineering is going to be really cool, I think, just because I'll be actually doing what I've been studying for the past 4 years, applying it, making money for it, maybe making good changes in the world, and just kind of getting started with my life, starting to I love St. Louis, but starting to maybe live somewhere else or go places, or like actually have my own apartment and all that. I'm just excited to start it just because it's kind of like you're starting your real part of your life, I guess. I don't know.
I think one of the things that I'm super excited for next in my life is to volunteer with the Jesuit Volunteer Corps. And I had been accepted into the Peace Corps, but something just wasn't right about it. And I realized that it was because, yes, I was going to be serving God's people, and that's great, but there was no spiritual aspect to it. And I think that becoming Catholic really has emphasized to me that not only do I have a heart for serving, but I also have a heart for being with a spiritual community all the time. And I think that the Jesuit Volunteer Corps is going to be what I need, and I'm super excited for that. Going to either Tanzania or Micronesia at the end of the summer, and I'm super excited for that. So thank you, Newman, but I'm really sad to see you go, and I love all of you.